As voting gets underway, all eyes are on the crucial 7 swing states in these elections that could very well determine the outcome of these elections. From Florida to Pennsylvania, these battlegrounds are teetering on a knife's edge, with every vote carrying monumental weight. Will familiar faces emerge victorious, or will we see upsets? Who will be able to sway the majority of 93 electoral votes up for grabs in these 7 states? Well, the stakes couldn't be higher. So let's have that map up, if we can, of all of the US states. And let me just explain to our viewers what it is that we are looking at over here. Now, this is absolutely crucial because what we are looking at are the 19 electoral votes in the swing states. But let's go back to the previous screen, if we can, so that we can take a look at the overall US map. Now, what we are seeing, and it's important to explain this, all of the states which are marked in blue are Democrat states. Typically, in the past, these are states where the Democrats have done extremely well. All of the states which are marked red, right, are Republican states. And these are also states where typically the Republicans have done well in the past. Will there be any surprises in any of these? That's a larger story. But what we are really focusing on are all of the states over here. These are swing states. They are marked in this yellow color over here. There are a key number of swing states which could actually define where these elections actually are going, because the candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, have been focusing extensively on these states, which could in fact end up going either way. But let me explain this a little bit more, because in the context of the US elections, these are very important. Remember, this is a winner-takes-all system. So each state has a certain number of electoral seats. So in the case of California, the largest number at 54. As an example, Texas has got 40. So whoever wins the largest percentage of votes actually gets the entire amount of electoral seats into their kitty. So the target is 270. So whoever, in the case of California, has the largest percentage of votes will end up winning 54, right, electoral seats. Those all add up. The magic mark that all the parties are looking for is 270. Now, in the context of these elections, the sense is that red is going to remain red, blue is going to remain blue. What is going to happen as far as the swing states are concerned? That's where the battle is really taking place. So let's bring you a few details on, for example, Pennsylvania. And let's bring you some, some important points on Pennsylvania itself. 19 electoral votes which are there in the state of Pennsylvania. So let's actually just give you a few more details on this. Now, it's been a blue state since 1992. But it's important for a couple of important reasons, and I'm going to try and tell you what those reasons actually are. It has flipped once in 2016, but that's not where it's actually expected to be this time around. So in terms of Philadelphia itself, what we are looking for is this. Now, it is particularly important in the context of the US elections, particularly this time around. Why? Because of electoral votes. As I mentioned, 19 electoral votes make it one of the states with the highest number of electoral votes among swing states. This count is significant in the race to 270. There are important historical voting patterns over here. The state has a history of predicting the national winner with an 80% success rate, indicating that it has a bellwether status. It's also part of the blue wall alongside Michigan, Wisconsin, which are traditionally Democrat-leaning states that Trump won in 2016, where he broke this trend. So there's also a great deal of demographic diversity in Pennsylvania. So where Pennsylvania actually votes might have an important sort of bearing as where these elections are going. Let's bring you another state now, which is the state of Georgia, which is another absolutely key state. It's a swing state. There are 16 electoral votes up for grabs over here. What are some of the key issues in Georgia? Let's bring those up in our graphic points. The key issues over here are for Donald Trump. He faces allegations of poll interference over here. So that's something which he's going to have to fight off. There are 6 lakh Asian Americans. Indian Americans are the largest group in this particular state. The key issues are of immigration, healthcare, and housing costs. So that's an important state over there. And let's just take a look at one more state. And there are 7 swing states, but for the moment, we'll just focus on 3. This is Arizona with 11 electoral votes. Absolutely critical, once again. Which way will Arizona go? What are the key issues over here? Remember, the border with Mexico, which it shares, is important. It is a key issue as far as these elections are concerned. There are 3.5 lakh Asian American residents over here. So from an Indian standpoint, that's something that we'll be looking at. Now, what has Donald Trump been promising? He's been promising mass deportations if he is re-elected as President of the United States. So that's something that we're going to actually look very, very closely at in terms of a swing state.